What's up, y'all? I'm Choc, and this is the Self-Love Way. This is not a podcast. I just be ranting, and I probably don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. But let's get into it.
Made it through your darkest time. Optimist prime. Switched it up. Your spirit rich enough. And I see it, my baby. Don't care who see it, my baby. Oh, you made it. Made it through your darkest time. Optimist prime. Switched it up. Your spirit rich enough. And I see it, my baby. Don't care who see it, my baby. Yeah. You make the rules. You make the rules. They gon' follow what you do. Yeah.
So today I just wanted to talk a little bit about how you can keep meeting the same person in different bodies. And it doesn't have to just be relationship wise. This can also be in friendships and in family members. You'll sometimes meet someone who carries the same spirit that you've dealt with in the past. And you know how they say sometimes a man will come back into your life to see if you're still dumb. That's a very valid statement. And it also applies to certain friendships and certain family dynamics as well. You ever meet people and it's like, I can't quite put my finger on it, but you remind me of somebody. And you can't figure out who that somebody is. Because sometimes it doesn't show up as the same type of individual. You can meet a man who is narcissistic and later down the line find a friend who has those exact same narcissistic traits. And this is why pattern recognition is so important. You have to be able to identify certain things in people so that you can decide quickly that this is something that you're not going to deal with, or this is something that you're not going to put up with, or that you no longer want in your life. A big problem that I've had in the past is staying in situations longer than I should, well after I've outgrown the situation, or I started to feel uncomfortable or disrespected, or I felt like something was no longer serving me. I would just hold on to things because of either the history or the love that I've had for someone, or the loyalty I've had to someone. Or, I was a person who always was too understanding. And it's okay to be understanding of people, but to a certain extent. You can't be so understanding that you let people disrespect you. You can't be so understanding that you let people take from you and keep draining you and without ever, putting anything back into you. I used to have a big problem with that. I would always stay in situations knowing that I no longer needed to be there. I feel like family situations are where you have to be the most careful, and you have to be able to pick up on patterns quickly, because I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just in the black community. I'm sure it's not just in the black community, but in the black community, we have this thing where, especially the older generation, they feel like, oh, well, that's your mom. So I understand she was completely wrong, but that's your mom. You still owe her respect. You still owe her. You don't owe nobody a fuck ass thing. If somebody is constantly disrespecting you and going out of their way to hurt you, I don't care whether it's your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother. If these people are constantly hurting you, why do you have to stay in that situation? Why do you have to constantly put up with disrespect just because y'all share the same blood? Anybody can get cut off. Anybody who is not serving a purpose in your life, who does not wish you the best or want the best for you, needs to go. And it's not selfish to pick up on things and not want to be around them. You'll find yourself constantly getting stuck in cycle after cycle after cycle because, oh, that's my mom. Oh, we've been together 12 years. Oh, this has been my best friend since kindergarten. So because of the history or the relationship to a person, you willing to keep on dealing with disrespect. You willing to keep on being around people who won't let you grow. People who constantly want to see you hurt. People who will have no problem with kicking you when you down. Because you love these people or because you care about them. This is why self-love is so important. And I feel like we should be teaching our kids self-love before anything, because the lack of self-love will have you dealing with things that you have no business dealing with. It'll have you in situations that are not bringing out the best in you. You got to learn when it's time for people to go, or even if you don't kick them out of your life, you got to start dealing with people differently. You got to be able to recognize when somebody is pick up on that shit. Like sometimes I'll be around people and I'll see certain things happening, and I'll be like, so you don't see that, so you don't see what's going on, and it pisses me off because it's like, ain't no way you not picking up on what I'm picking up on. It don't matter who the person is. If they gotta go, they gotta go. And I'm telling you, like, the things like this, like pattern recognition and letting go and cutting people off and things like that, it is a continuous thing. Like, it's not enough for you to just be like, okay, I've healed, I've grown, I'm good now. You are constantly going to be tested. You are constantly going to keep meeting the same person in different bodies. You're constantly going to keep being tested in certain situations where it's like, okay, the universe will give you something that you really, really wanted, and it'll be like, here you go, but you don't know what spirit is going to be attached to this thing. So they'll give you exactly what you want. Now you have this thing. This thing also comes with narcissistic traits, negative energy, disrespect, and the list goes on. This thing that you prayed for, that you really, really wanted, comes with so many other attachments. So now it's like, okay, I gave you this thing you wanted. It comes with all this extra stuff. Are you going to recognize the patterns and disconnect? Or are you going to hold on to this thing because you thought you really wanted it? It's crazy how the universe will test you like that. That's why this whole manifesting culture is kind of tricky, because one thing I've learned is how to kind of sit back and let what God wants for me come to me. Because when I notice that sometimes when I go chasing after things, it might not be what God actually wanted for me. It might not be something that's going to end up being good for me. But because I can get it, and because I can get access to it, I'll go after it. Or because it's something that I've always wanted, I'll go after it, or I'll work hard towards it, instead of just sitting back and attracting the things that are for me. And another thing is, aside from meeting the same person in different bodies, when you're on a healing journey, you'll be tested in a lot of other ways to see if you truly are healing or if you truly are growing. For example, I used to have a really, really nasty attitude. I'm talking about horrible. A smart mouth, always wanted to let people know exactly how I felt. And I'm not gonna lie, I still will let you know how I feel, but now I do it with a little more grace. Now I do it with a little more love and a little more compassion. But I'll still tell you about yourself. So let's get that understood. But like I was saying, I used to have a really, really horrible attitude. And I've always worked in customer service. So there's been times that I've really, really wanted a job, and I've been working on my attitude, and I'll manifest this good job, good paying job. First day on the job, I encounter the worst customer you could experience. I'm talking about just rude and nasty for no reason. So this is my test. It's like, okay, you really wanted this job. You wanted to be in this customer service job, in this position. Let's see if you really been healing. Let's see if you really been growing. How are you about to react? How are you about to respond to this customer who's giving you attitude for no reason? I'll give you guys another example. And I'm going to use myself. I'm always use myself as the example. But another thing that I had to work on within myself was the need to always get my lick back. I used to have this thing, y'all, where I don't care what the situation was, I would never leave a situation feeling like somebody had one up on me. And it would literally drive me crazy. I would feel absolutely crazy inside until I got my lick back. And I've had people tell me that my reaction to things that they've done to me was way too big for what they did. And I would not care. I would not care. When people do things to me, I guess it's especially because I have good intentions for the people around me and the people that I love. So like when somebody that I care about would hurt me, it would send me into a spiral. Like, I could not believe it. Like, now I have to get you back. I absolutely have to get my lick back. And it's going to be in the worst way. And it's something about when I get hurt. Well, not now. Because now I give it to once I tell my ancestors about it, it's out of my hands from there. I don't have to react. But in the past, after I would get my lick back, I would feel so relieved. I would feel like now we're even, because you did what you did to me. I had a bigger reaction than what you expected. Now we're both shocked, and now I'm calm again. Now I feel okay again. That's something I had to really work on, y'all, because in those moments, it was like rage. I would kick doors in, set things on fire, crash cars. The list goes on, y'all. I've done so many wild, outlandish things. And that's something I really had to work on, because I didn't want to end up in jail, or I didn't want to end up seriously injuring someone because of my reaction to them hurting me. But anyway, those are just examples that I'm using to show you how healing is a consistent thing. Like, you know, you're going to have things that come up to see if you're still stupid, if you still get triggered, if you're still going to react the way you used to react. And that's why it'd be funny to me sometimes. Like, this is how I know that I've grown. People do things to me now, or say things, and they think that I'm not aware, or they think that I didn't catch on because I didn't react to it. But it's like I did, but I'm healing. You know, I'm not going to say I'm healed. I'm healing. And I know how big of a reaction I can give. And it's just like, I'd rather not. I don't want to do that. And you're not even ready for that type of response from me. Like when people say they'll take it to the moon, I'm one of those people. I would take things above and beyond for something that you thought was an innocent joke, or you thought was just innocent shade, or I used to just take things to the moon. And I've noticed that I still have certain triggers. I'm not reacting how I used to, but things still trigger me. So it just makes me aware that there's still some things that I need to work on. And with me learning how to love myself and having that pattern recognition skill now, I'm not so quick to take on people's energy. I've learned that some people are just miserable in their lives. They are unhappy with who they are, or what they're doing in life. And a lot of people just want to project. A lot of people need a punching bag. A lot of people need people around them who they feel are beneath them to make them feel big. And I've learned to not be that punching bag. I recognize things now. And even though sometimes it still triggers me, I try not to take on that energy. I try not to go into this mode where it's like, oh, I'm finna check this person, or I'm finna eat you up. You think you did something, but I'm finna eat you up. Because life's already beating them. They're already miserable. They're already unhappy. You have to be an unhappy person to unprovoked taunt people, or unprovoked make jokes or throw shade. You have to be an unhappy person to walk around doing that to people who've done nothing to you. Now, I'm not scared to cut anybody off. I don't care if you are my mother. I don't care if you are my best friend. I don't care if we've been together 10 years. If I'm unhappy in a situation, and I know that I've done nothing to cause any harm, and I feel like I'm being treated like less than what I deserve, whether it's a friendship or a family member, I will cut you off. And my cutoffs are silent. I don't have to cause a scene. I don't have to run around and tell everybody what you did. You know what you did. I have pattern recognition now, and I love myself enough now that I'm going to dismiss myself from any situation that harms me. I don't care who it is or what the situation is. So the things I want you guys to take away from this video, if you're going to take anything away, is remember who you are. Remember your self-love. Remember the way things have made you feel in the past. Remember the reactions you've had, the negative reactions you've had to things that have harmed you in the past. Understand that you don't have to be in those environments. Those environments where things trigger you, whether it's by accident or on purpose. It's okay to walk away from certain things. If you decide you don't want to be in certain environments, let's say you don't want to club no more, if you don't want to smoke or you don't want to drink, there's no need to go around people who are smoking and drinking all the time if that's not what you want anymore. Sometimes you're just put in certain situations to test you and see if you're really done with that life, if you're really done with those things. We got to love ourselves more. Stop staying in situations longer than you should. Once you see a trait in somebody, and I'll even give y'all this. Even if you see a trait or something that somebody's done to you in the past, you see that pop up again, address it. Especially if it's somebody that you love or care about. Address it. Speak on it. If they're not willing to change the behavior for you, there your answer right there. It's time for you to get up out of there. If this person is going to consistently make excuses and tell you, oh, this is just the way I am, other people accept it, so you should too. No, you don't have to. You could be the person that walk away from them. Something that they've never experienced. You could be the person to teach them their first lesson about the way you treat people and how everybody's not going to tolerate your bullshit. But anyway, y'all, that's the end of my rant for today. I'm going to try to post like 2 videos a month. And even if y'all got like something that y'all want me to talk about or just give my opinion on, or if you have an opinion on something and you want to hit me up, DM me, whatever, text me. I'm open to, discussing some of these things. Maybe somebody might teach me something new, or maybe somebody might give me a new way to handle certain things. Remember, y'all, this is all just my opinion based on my experiences. I'm not giving anybody advice or anything like that. I'm just telling y'all what I think based on what I've experienced. But yeah, I'm open to, having a dialogue about these things if anybody wants to do that. But yeah, I don't know when the next video will drop. Sometime in February. Like I said, I'm gonna try to do 2 a month. But make sure y'all book me for lashes and facials, of course. Like, share, and subscribe. I'm gonna keep saying that no matter if y'all do it or not. Like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube videos. Send them to a friend if you like them. Also, my book that I showed y'all in the last video, they're still live on Amazon if you want to check those out, my self-love journals. But yeah, that's it for this video, y'all. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.
And I did it all with no guidance.